Actually, Doc, we were going to introduce the fact that you had 5 hot takes for us, and that was the first one. So we're gonna move on to the second one right now.
Okay.
Perfect. Which is yung notable struggle ni Umandal early on to stay in system naman. Now, we were talking about that in system, off system. What did you see with him?
Yeah, because he's one of the heavy hitters for Team Philippines right now without Bagunas and Espejo. Iran really just brought all the balls to him. And I know Jao is relatively newer to the position compared to Bagunas and Espejo because if I remember correctly, in his college career, he was switching between middle and open. And noticeable difference when it comes, like for example, with Mark. If he gets a really strong serve, he can still recover quick enough to go for a back row hit or a pipe. And that's what we were sorely missing in this match. In the first and the third set is the pipe or the back row attack coming from Umandal and Almendras.
Yeah,
so medyo nabantayan tuloy yung mga pins kasi there's no significant threat coming from the back row.
Yeah, so that we really felt that, as you mentioned, the absence of some of the bigger names out there. And Jet, the third one, I think it may be in your wheelhouse kasi grabe system pa rin yung pinag-uusapan eh.
Oh yeah, third hot was a significant level up in the Philippine system of having no more combinations of X-plays and slide attacks.
Pa-breakdown naman,
Breakdown,
yung X-plays at side attacks dun.
Yeah, ever since I started doing the analyst and commentating, I've always been a proponent of getting rid of those combination X plays and running attack because it doesn't really work anymore for the higher men's level, especially in the world. Because if it was working, everybody would be doing it, like the top teams. But you barely see it in the international scene. And I'm happy that they're embracing that kind of modern take in the sport that there's not much because the pipe is already the combination per se. So, and especially they're up against big people. So those kind of combination plays don't really work well if you're up against blockers who would just need to take a slight shuffle to cover your attack already. So it's all about spreading the blockers out to the pins, then just surprise them with a quick one in the middle with either with a quick or a pipe. So yun, medyo talagang kulang pa yung pipe attacks natin kanina na talagang specialty ni Mark eh. So,
but at least adjustment is starting to get that. You're seeing signs of it. Yeah. So the next thing is, again, this is very technical, and I like this. I feel like, this is a lecture. I love this.
Thank you, Doc.
So, minute details. That's my favorite word of the day. Minute details, like holding position too long after a dig takes much needed time to be in system for Team Philippines. What do you mean by that?
I don't know if it can fit in the camera, but if you notice when they're getting the strong hits from Iran, like if they make a good dig, like the ball is held up, but they are holding their position too long, and but as expected, in indoor at least, I can really appreciate this with indoor right now because I'm already playing beach. In beach, we can get away with holding our position because it's all about waiting for beach, but in indoor where it's really fast-paced, everything is going rapid fire. You don't have time to hold your position because, especially if you're the openers like Umandal and Almendras, if you hold your position, you're out of the attack options already because everything comes rapid fire, especially at this level.
How much different, Doc? I want to ask, how much different is this team when the last time you saw them in the SEA Games 2019? And how, the last time you saw them and how different are they now in the way they're playing?
Well, right now, they really embrace the modern style of system. So it's a still fairly young team. Tagal nila nabakan from the SEA Games eh. So the expectations will be high, but considering they're a really young team and just recently adapted that or fully embraced that modern style of playing, there's still a lot of work still to be done. But we know that if this core team continues on with this program, they'll be a significant threat in the Asian level a couple years from now.
Yeah. So, with that in mind, I want to actually bring up your final take, which was it was commendable for the Philippines to have strong jump servers, but they still need more work to force teams out of system like Iran. Now, given in mind, you mentioned a while ago that this was one of the stronger powerhouses in the men's field. Talking about their opponent that they faced against. Based on what we saw, what can we expect from the national team in this particular tournament?
Well, lagi sinasabi, di ba, when joining tournaments is to gain experience, but not necessarily compete. But I do believe that this team will still gain that experience, but still be able to compete. Of course, gulat kagad, it's a very strong opponent right out of the bat. Then for sure, Coach Dante will go back to the drawing board, and especially that demolition that happened in the third set. It's all about the service receipt. The service receipt. Like, Iran got very confident about their services, that they were going all out and forcing us out of system. And if we can find, or if Coach Dante can find that kind of confidence also when it comes to serving for Team Philippines, then we're still gonna compete in this AVC.